Wars a little bit. Just kind of the state of it as of right now, when we are recording this on April 17th. Currently, Star Wars Celebration in Japan is live. It is day one. We've already talked a little bit about what is coming up, so I will be on my phone checking for updates. Hopefully we can talk about it as it comes up. But who wants to get us started with the newest news that they have so far?
Everybody just broke.
Oh, okay. So you were the only person who froze on my screen.
Yeah, Joey died mid-sentence.
I did die. Who would like to continue on with the newest news we have so far with Star Wars?
So I guess the biggest thing is news we literally just got, which concerns the Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling movie. Ryan Gosling confirmed to be in it. We got a title. It's called Star Wars Starfighter. It's going to come out May 28th, 2027, and it is confirmed to be post Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. They didn't tell us a plot or anything. They just gave us a logo. Confirmed Ryan Gosling is going to be in it. It sounds like they're playing this one very close to the heart in terms of writing and production. They're not letting Lucasfilm get really involved. Sean Levy's having a guy he's worked with on a... what's that movie? Mikey, what's the movie with Jason Bateman? This Is the End?
This is Where I Leave You?
This Is Where I Leave You. That one, and then he also was a writer on the Adam Project. So the guy who wrote those two things with Sean Levy is writing this movie. So yeah, playing it very close to heart. I wonder if he just doesn't trust Lucasfilm as of late or something.
I mean, as of recently, with the amount of movies and shows that they've done that aren't really up to par, I'm okay with them kind of treating it like an independent Star Wars film.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And so I'm okay with it. I trust Sean Levy a little bit. I hope they don't really take a huge comedic route, but I'm still fine with a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, he's got some like really good comedy stuff. He's got some bad comedy stuff. So like he's done like Real Steel, which like so he knows how to do action, and then he's done like The Night at the Museum. So like he can do comedy, but then he did like Free Guy, which is just like looking back, it's a bit of slop, and just like a baby fest. So I don't know. We'll see what happens as we get more news. We're actively getting news for Jon Favreau's Mandalorian Grogu movie. This is coming out May 22nd, 2026. We have recently looked at photos of Sigourney Weaver on set. She's going to be like a starfighter pilot of some sort. And then, Joey, would you like to tell us what you have recently discovered?
Well, there's a few things. The biggest one is that Jabba the Hutt's son, Rada, that we saw in the movie adaptation of Star Wars The Clone Wars that introduced the Clone Wars, probably the only time we saw this character, it looks like this, will be a gladiator with massive biceps in The Mandalorian and Grogu, played by this man, Jeremy Allen White. So how you're supposed to look from a Hutt into a gladiator with biceps, I don't know. But if I'm going to trust anybody with it, it's going to be Jon Favreau. So, sure.
It was confirmed a while ago that he was going to be playing that character. We just didn't expect ripped gladiator. Like that was the part that made us be like, well, hold on, he's a Hutt. Like, these guys are known for being fat
slobs. Yeah. And then the other thing with it is that Zeb is also making an appearance. They had a quick shot with him. I lost it. Hold on. Quick shot with him with the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. There's another shot that's been circulating of Pedro Pascal with his helmet off, like kind of tucked underneath him. So, yeah, it seems like throughout the night, maybe not this episode because of how long we record, there's going to be more and more news. I don't expect anything big, any news to break on this podcast, anything big. They're probably going to wait for
I don't think so.
and Rosario Dawson in the next couple days when they come on.
Guys, I'm getting breaking news right now, actually. The sequel trilogy is no longer canon. Hallelujah. It's a good day.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Okay, buddy. Speaking of which, the how we talked about this a couple episodes ago. The sequel trilogy, we called it, Simon Kinberg's trilogy, who I did not
Yes.
know was the creator of Star Wars Rebels, along with his
Yep.
other writing production, whatchamacallit. It is not the sequel to the Skywalker saga. It's going to be a trilogy of new characters and new stories. It's not going to have anything to do with the Skywalker saga, he says. I like that. I like a new trilogy. I like that they're going forward, and because they said they were going to step away from it and lied to us all with the sequel trilogy. They were like,
Yeah.
no, this is going to have nothing to do with the Skywalker story. But I feel like they've run out of yarn to spin, so they kind of actually have to get original. So
I'd be okay if there's a few characters. You can't. I don't think they should bring in anybody like Rey or Finn or
I
Poe.
think
But
he
like,
wants to go a good bit into the future where like
I'd be
everyone's
okay
dead.
with that.
Like everyone has died of natural age. Like
Right.
there's no way they're in it.
I'd be okay with that. And the only thing that I would say is that don't ignore. I think he knows that, but like the Skywalkers are going to be a massive part of the history. So don't ignore them. You
Like
gotta
if they go to a
mention
Jedi
them.
temple,
Right.
one of the walls are like them blowing up the Death Star or something, like that's fine. Just like
Yeah.
don't make it Han Solo's grandchild is the main character or something
Exactly.
like that.
Don't have them at all related, but at least
Yeah.
pay tribute. Fine. Yeah, I agree.
I'm a little out of order just because of the new stuff that's been going on. We're gonna get Ahsoka season 2 at some point. Rosario Dawson is going to appear at the Star Wars Celebration, so I'm assuming she'll talk about it. Taika Waititi's
I'm assuming
movie's
they're going to
apparently
do
still
something
happening.
about it. Yeah, I saw that they confirmed that as well.
Yeah, he's still. Writing
I
the
don't know
script
how I
for it.
feel about it.
I don't like him as a director.
After Love and
Ragnarok
Thunder,
has
he
aged
lost
really
me.
poorly.
Yep.
Love and Thunder's bad. His other independent stuff. I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit. I know some people like it. It doesn't look like my cup of tea. And then his soccer movie that he made is apparently just terrible.
It's been a while since I've seen Jojo Rabbit. I need to go back and rewatch it, but upon the first viewing, it was really enjoyable. It was good.
Right.
So I think that was kind of like his only good.
I just don't want to throw him
Project
into
thus far.
the. You can be super zany with Star Wars, and that's like putting a bull in a china shop right there is letting him make a Star Wars movie. So I'm a little worried about it. Yeah, he's right. Like I said, he's writing the script for it. So that's that. James Mangold, who's attached to a billion things.
Yeah.
It's being called the Dawn of the Jedi Project.
Yep.
It's set 25,000 years before any Star Wars project that's been made. It's going to explore the origins of the Force and the Jedi. It's going to be biblical in nature, is what it was first described as. I don't know. Like,
No,
I
like-
can't be hype about something I know nothing about. We talked about this for Doomsday.
If we ever get this, I would be excited just because James Mangold is a very
he's one of the most solid people out there. Like, he will give you a
Yeah.
good story.
yeah. Whether you think it's good or not, it's gonna be a good story. It's going to be a good enough
It's going to
movie.
look great.
Yeah, it's gonna look amazing. So I'm happy with whatever we really get.
If anybody sings, they're going to have a great voice.
True. If anybody's driving cars, the cinematography within the car is gonna be awesome.
If anybody
that
has
kind of
metal
stuff.
claws that come out of their hands, it's gonna they're gonna do it really well. No, James Mangold, like even like I would say his worst movie that I can think of is the new Indiana Jones, and like that one is not his fault. Like the story you could tell he did not write.
Yeah.
And so, but like in terms of directing,
And
it
how
was
it
pretty
looks,
solid.
it looks good.
It was pretty solid in the director's world. Like you can just tell he kind of got screwed with that one, and like he just wanted to say he directed his Indiana Jones movie.
Right.
Yeah. Dave Filoni's new Republic movie is the Mandoverse, which is combining stuff from Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, that mini universe that we have in between the two trilogies, is still happening. I would expect some sort of news during Celebration about it, maybe just like a title or something.
I would think either that or it's more heavy on the side of Ahsoka season 2, because I think Ahsoka season 2 is going to lead into this movie, because I think Thrawn is going to be the big bad in the film. and that this film will be the last we see of Thrawn. Like Thrawn will 110% die.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. The other thing that I saw, which I don't know if you have it because it's only been on a few other areas, is that apparently the Book of Boba Fett's getting revived and there's a season 2.
Yep. Well, apparently not only that, they're considering season 4 of Mandalorian. I thought this movie was supposed to take that place and they would stop making Mandalorian projects.
That's what I thought too. So,
but apparently they're making a 4th season with the movie, and then they want to make Book of Boba Fett season 2. Don't give us season 2 of Book of Boba Fett. Season 1 sucked. Unless
I will
season
say
2
this.
is what we all expected 1 to be, where he's just a mob boss and it's like
Yeah.
a literal like gangster Scorsese Star Wars story. We don't want it.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, I think for
And
the
stop making
Mando
Mandalorian
verse,
seasons. Just make the movie and stop, please. You're gonna beat the dead horse.
I think it's hard because I like the content that I like the Mandalorian. I think a lot of fans do. I think the only thing that a lot of fans would say is that season 3 was not up to par. It wasn't, but it still has some good stuff. Ahsoka is fine. It's not great.
All right.
It's fine.
It
Book of Boba
it was
Fett.
just Rebels 4.5.
It is, yeah, it is. And then Book of Boba Fett just wasn't what we wanted, but it was season 2.5.
It was
Of
really
Mandalorian.
childish.
It was extremely. So I think if they just would take some originality, like Andor, you're taking an original character, but you're basically taking
Yeah.
it and making an entire new world. I think that would be an amazing, great idea. They did it for Mandalorian very well, but then they just
Season
kind of
one of Mandalorian
imploded
was
on
so
themselves. Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing about Andor. We knew nothing about his backstory from Rogue One. Literally,
Yeah.
they had infinite amount of room to play with. They just had to get him to Rogue One. That was the only qualification.
And they're doing that.
Season 1 was so good, and I'm excited
Uh-huh.
for season 2, which comes out next week. Yeah. So like that's coming out May 4th. Like a week ago, we got like a surprise teaser trailer for Tales of the Underworld.
Yeah.
It's going to be they have this like new obsession with making mini series, but they have 2 separate stories going on at the same time. So it's going to be a Cad Bane origin, I think, and then Asajj Ventress, like, is it an
Continuance.
origin or is it post Clone Wars?
I think it's post Clone Wars
what I thought.
mainly. We've seen a lot of her origin already.
Yeah,
From Clone Wars flashbacks. So
they're going to be doing that, and that's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll watch it, to be honest.
I'll watch it because I like Ventress and Cad Bane. My thing with it right now is like, I thought because they started it with Tales of the Jedi, I thought they were going to continue with like Tales of Jedi.
So apparently they did. They made. Do you remember seeing?
Do I remember seeing what? Sorry.
Which came out in Tales of the Empire, the trailers with General Grievous and Thrawn. That came out last year. I googled this and I was like, I have no memory of this shit ever coming out.
I watched it. It was
Tales of the Jedi was good. Aside from like the Baby Ahsoka episode I had to sit through where she's just playing with animals, like
Right.
I loved the Count Dooku stuff. That was good.
I thought the Dooku and I wanted to get more of that kind of stuff with like an Obi-Wan and Anakin thing because
Yeah.
10 years passed between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. That's one part of Star Wars that like I don't know how they haven't thought of that yet.
Everyone neglects that.
There's 10 years between
Give
those
me
movies.
training Anakin when he's a youngling. Like there's
Yeah.
so much you can do there.
I think that would be such a cool concept to do. And like in between those 10 years, there's no war yet. There's still technically being just Jedi.
Yeah.
Like explore that a little bit more. Whether it's in a movie, an expanded series, like something like that. I would like maybe to see some younger stuff of like Yoda. And when it comes to other Jedi, like Ki-Adi-Mundi or stuff like, but like,
Yeah.
or maybe like some of the younglings and stuff. But like, I feel like there's so much they can do with these shorts that
Yeah.
they can do. They're
missing
just not
opportunities.
doing it. Like Tales of the Empire was fine. I liked seeing some Barriss Offee stuff because a lot of people were like, "What happened to her after season 5 of Clone Wars. So I like that they did that, where they basically said she became an Inquisitor, she left, she got killed. Done. That's a great way to just give us a short and sweet way of saying, hey, this is what happened to the character. They're dead. They're not at all able to come back in any of the things. This is what their story was and how it completed. I think that's a great idea, and I think that if they do that with characters like Ventress and Bane, filling the gaps in a little bit, I think it would be cool. I think if they did one with Tales of the Underworld with like Bosk, I'd be in. I'd be in.
Just do some bounty hunter one-offs with like everybody who was on the Empire Strikes Back ship. Give us like a Bosk, like a IG droid one, like stuff like
Forlom.
that. Yeah.
So I think if they start doing stuff like that, go
Dengar.
in the movie sphere, go to separate individual projects. You have that one with Sean Levy. You have Taika Waititi's, wherever that's going. Yeah,
like James
Kinberg's
Mangold
trilogy.
is technically original because we only have the video games, which, like, myself included, very few people have actually played the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Yeah. And
like,
so
they're iconic for the franchise, but they weren't obscenely popular just because of how old they are.
I think if
They're
they need to
Great
start
games.
exploring some smaller stuff. Now,
Okay, Joey died. Nope, he's back. And your camera quality. Oh, and now he died. Okay, so while he's gone, breaking news live on this show, which is not live because it'll come out in a week.
What's just finish it up? Sorry, I'm
Breaking news live on this show, but it's not going to be live because it's going to come out in a week. Simon Kinberg's trilogy officially confirmed at whatchamacallit, Celebration. Taika Waititi's project and James Mangold's project also confirmed at Celebration. Final project, which I hadn't put this and this together, that was confirmed with those, is Charmin Obey-Chinoy's New Jedi Order. This is the Rey movie that they kept talking about. It's going to be her starting the New Jedi Order. I have one problem with this, and it's the director.
yep.
She's only made political documentaries. She's never made a movie. They're Pakistani political drama documentaries. Like, they're not movies in the slightest. And then they were like, hey, here's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I was like, where the heck did you get this from?
No.
So, like, in terms of credentials, this one, like, feels like... And I'm not... this is going on the internet. So, like, I allegedly, this seems like one of those things where it's like, your dad, like, was fraternity brothers with someone who's a CEO and is like, my kid wants to make a movie. Like, this is what it seemed like. So, yeah. But I guess that's confirmed now, like, officially.
I don't know, Brayden. It seems like you're really undercutting her achievements.
Mikey, you're not going to go see this movie in theaters even if I dragged you by your neck.
All right. Truth is, I'm not looking forward to many Star Wars projects.
And I think that's the big thing is, like, we're not looking forward to any of these. But, like, it's different from Marvel because Star Wars has never been able to create a cohesive universe in the way that Marvel or even parts of DC could. Just because they spread out projects as much as they can. They got very late into the game because they were riding the Clone Wars train for so long and, like, making, like, I don't want to say childish, but child-focused projects. Mandalorian was the first thing, aside from, like, Rogue One, to really, like, try and bridge an age gap here. And so, like, it's just different. So it's hard to get hype over Star Wars projects until it's, like, they've put out 3 trailers
Until it's,
and
like,
we're a
2
month
weeks
away from
before.
release. That's what I'm
Right.
saying, yeah.
I don't. To me, the quality of a lot of Star Wars projects have just been so low that I just haven't been interested.
Yeah.
It's honestly same as Marvel and same as DC, where it's just I have no interest in it at all, and that's kind of sad because I'm actively looking at my bookshelf, which is just full of DC movies, the first 6 Star Wars movies, and then also a whole bunch of graphic novels. You know, I was quite literally just on my phone looking at, like, things on Kindle because apparently they have a pretty big Star Wars graphic novel sale right now. For those who don't know, the Star Wars comics and graphic novels are really good.
They're
and
awesome.
Yet somehow, when they try to release movies, they're just not. Like,
The Vader series is so
the
good.
Vader series is good. I loved
I don't think
Darth
they've ever
Maul,
written
Son of
a
Dathomir.
Vader comic.
so good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys
I've
read.
read very little of Star Wars, but
If you need to read Son of Dathomir, Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir,
Yes.
it bridges
Oh.
bridges the time from when Maul gets captured by Sidious in the Clone Wars
'cause
and
it-
when he
I
breaks
don't
free.
they use this,
Oh.
don't
It
they
is
use this
phenomenal.
to explain how the Darksaber transferred ownership? So like
Yes.
explain Rebels and Mandalorian.
Yes.
Well,
bridge that gap.
yes,
believe
yes
so,
and
yeah.
He
no.
loses the Darksaber.
Well, it's a yes and no thing because he loses it at Mandalore. Palpatine
Yeah.
doesn't take the Darksaber, so it's just on Mandalore, and then someone finds it, they use it, and then it during
Well, no,
the
he gets it.
purge.
He gets it back.
Also, there's a
he
whole
gets it
nother,
back during Son of Dathomir.
There's a whole
He
nother.
uses it again.
Yeah. Okay. So it's that opens up a whole rabbit hole of who the actual owner of the Darksaber is. Apparently, it's technically Luke Skywalker is the true owner of the Darksaber, like based on its rules, because he gets it back, and then dies to Obi-Wan in Rebels. Obi-Wan would then go on to be killed by Vader, who was
right.
technically killed by.
And the technicality
say
of the
Luke.
rules of how the Darksaber is supposed to be transferred.
They kind of break the
Yes.
rules in Mandalorian because technically.
No, it breaks
Well,
first in
technically-
Rebels because
Well, yeah, 'cause
they
given-
take it from his lair in Rebels. Because Maul still, you're right, Mike. He still has it. He gets it back in Son of Dathomir.
He gets it back
So he
during
has it
Son of
on Dathomir. Ezra, Kanan, and Sabine they take it, and then Kanan trains Sabine with it. Sabine
Right.
uses it in the liberation of Mandalore and her family. It then goes from her to
Somehow
Bo-Katan.
goes from. Yeah.
Yeah, she hands it to
Bo-Katan
Bo-Katan.
has it, and then the bombing of Mandalore happens to when then Bo-Katan loses it to Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon has it.
Full
He
circle
loses it
back.
to Mando, and then Mando has it.
Yeah, technically the rightful heir is Anakin, but then Anakin died, and so the rules state it goes by like inheritance.
You are
and so
correct.
Luke. So then, but Luke died, and then it goes. Well, it would be Leia and Luke. Leia dies, Luke dies. So then, who technically owns it right now?
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
if it goes by that,
And
it
the
would be
technicality, it would be
Kylo
Ben.
Ren, and
Yeah,
then
it would
since
be Ben.
Kylo
Yeah,
Ren
because-
dies, it's
In that
Yeah,
technicality, then it would be Rey, technically, and that's extreme. That's extreme nerdism and technicality.
That was-
Because, well, no, actually, Palpatine. No, it would still be
well,
Rey.
actually, it would be Rey no matter what because
It would be Rey
Palpatine
no
was really
matter-
the sole reason why Anakin died in the first place. So technically,
Well-
Palpatine kills Anakin, but
Well,
Anakin also
but
kills
Since
Palpatine.
Vader died
Well-
on his own terms of like
Well,
it
Palpatine
goes
also.
by inheritance.
Even if it does that, if it goes down to it's Luke and Leia's, it would
Palpatine's
then
still the
because
reason
both
why.
of them
They
don't
both
die
die.
from someone. So then it would go to the next in kin, which is
is
Ben.
Adam Driver, yeah.
But then
But
Palpatine
he dies.
kills Ben, but then Palpatine
Yeah.
dies. So the next in kin for Palpatine is Rey.
Would be Rey. So no
So-
matter what, it really should be Rey.
No matter what, it's Rey. In the technicality of everything,
Yeah, so
it's Rey.
technically she owns it, but like even at the time of Mandalorian, like Luke Skywalker is technically the owner. Well, yeah, he's technically the
Yes.
owner. Him
Yes.
and his sister.
But he doesn't know
so
that.
he doesn't know that, but it's so weird that like
Yeah,
he was he was there at the same time, and like he doesn't know he's the rightful heir to.
True.
He probably doesn't even know what the heck it is, to be honest.
No.
It's just so weird. But yeah, no, that comic like opened up a whole internet rabbit hole that I went down where people were trying to figure that out.
Yeah, but no, like that comic I think would be even if they can't come up with original ideas, do adaptations of comics. Like
Yeah.
that comic I would love to see be a short thing like Tales of the like whatever. Just call it a spin-off of the Clone Wars and it's just because Grievous is in it, Dooku's in it, Palpatine's in it, Maul's in it, isn't Mother Talzin in it?
Yeah.
Like those are all amazing characters that the Clone Wars fans love and I would love to see that kind of stuff.
To go back on a little bit,
Yeah.
off screen right before I had broken news, Anthony Mackie said that Avengers Doomsday was going to end on a massive cliffhanger. The exact quote he said was, "No one is safe, everyone is expendable."
Oh wow.
No one is safe. Everyone is expendable. It's gonna end on a
That's a
massive
bar.
cliffhanger.
That is a bar right there.
That is a bar.
I don't know. I think
That's
they're gonna
something that,
shock
like,
us by
That's something that like Ultron
Robert Downey
would
Jr.
say.
dying. I don't think he's the real
Um,
Doom.
Which
No, I just think they mean like a main character is gonna die. Like they're gonna kill
I
off
think
Mark Ruffalo
they're
or
gonna
something.
shock us with that.
currently,
Everyone.
I don't know if you guys
Everyone.
care or if any of the fans care as to where we are at. Currently, we are on day one, and for Star Wars Celebration, it is currently Ryan Gosling on stage with Sean Levy discussing their film. His hat says "Never tell me the odds," so I love that.
That was
I like that
pre-recorded.
because it's like
Okay.
it's called Star Wars Starfighter. So like if they're playing homage to like one of the greatest starfighter pilots of Han Solo,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was definitely not his
that-
decision. I feel like that was definitely whatchamacallit. But Ryan has worked with Harrison Ford with Blade Runner, so I'm sure if he needs any
Yeah.
tips for Star Wars, he'll talk to him. Mikey, you actually mentioned how you haven't liked the last couple Star Wars projects. The last 4 projects to release, which all came out in 2024. Most recently, Skeleton Crew, which came out in December. I'm the only one who's seen it, right?
Yeah.
Joe, you haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it
I
yet.
have
very-
literally no interest in it.
I very much enjoy it. Well, Mikey, you hate Goonies for some reason.
I don't like the Goonies.
It's like meant for our generation, but
Right.
it's a kid's like topic almost.
Okay.
Like it's like how we or adults can watch Goonies and like it, even though it's about kids doing treasure hunting stuff.
Right.
Like it's just a more playful thing. I liked the project. We talked about Tales of the Empire that came out last year.
Didn't even know it came out.
It's
Yeah,
a give
that's
or
what I'm
take.
saying.
If you're a Clone Wars fan, you probably were like, okay, this is cool, whatever. But most people aren't really going to care because they'll just find out via Instagram or whatever
Yeah.
what happens.
The last thing to come out before that was Acolyte, which
Don't
like
speak of
broke
that.
Star Wars canon. So,
Yeah,
like,
it broke canon extremely, and
like
I
not
hate
even a
it.
little thing, like massively.
No,
broke
it's
canon.
literally honestly, it's one of the biggest thing, and it's funny enough, it's a thing that has come from the comics that they broke.
Acolyte might be the biggest retcon in like Star Wars, Marvel, DC. Like that might be the biggest breaking of canon I've ever seen happen before.
Yeah.
It
So
was
for
so funny.
for people that don't really understand where we're coming from, there is a comic. I think it's in the Vader series. Mikey, correct me if I'm wrong.
I would assume so.
That there is a depiction of how Anakin became Anakin because he never has been stated to have a father. Basically, it is conception. It is a virgin birth, basically. Shmi Skywalker is enhanced with the Force through Palpatine to bear this child of Anakin and gives birth to Anakin.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Star Wars is supposed to be like loosely based off like Christianity. Like Anakin
Yes.
is supposed to be like he was supposed to be the Jesus figure, but then he became like the fallen angel.
Yeah, to not go on a tangent, George Lucas
Yeah.
couldn't connect to religion when he was younger, so this is how he did it, was make Star Wars. Long story short, so then in Acolyte, the two technically acolytes are born of that same power, but the rule is that has said is that the person that is born of that is the chosen one.
Right.
And the chosen one was Anakin. So then when they made these two characters born of a virgin birth because of the two mothers that were witches that know the Force but don't use the Force, it retconned Anakin Skywalker's importance and his basic, like, him
Yeah.
being the chosen one. So
Well, not
for a
even-
lot of Star Wars fans, it lost them.
That's not even what I was thinking about. I was thinking about how like at the end of the show Darth Sidious appears.
No, that's
Oh, Darth Plagueis.
that's
Or Darth
Plagueis.
Plagueis, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Darth Plagueis is like still alive and everyone was like, "Well, what the heck is this?"
Well, Acolyte takes place before.
No,
All of
he's
it, doesn't
supposed to be
it?
Dead, isn't
Technically, Plagueis
No.
is supposed to be alive at this point.
he?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be dead.
No,
No,
so,
because
season
then
2
Palpatine,
is supposed to
Palpatine
lead
kills
into-
Plagueis.
Yes, the assassination.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
Either way, though, the thing is that Acolyte left off on it left off on two cliffhangers. One, it left off on Plagueis being cliffhanged, and
Yeah.
then it left off on Yoda being cliffhanged.
So
So
I forgot about that. I didn't
it-
watch the show. I just saw it on Instagram.
Yoda. How is Yoda in the cliffhanger?
It's
I didn't
the
watch it. I
one,
didn't care.
the one green Jedi. I forget her name. She basically walks into this thing and says something along the lines of like, "Master, we have a problem" or whatever, and then it's a slow pan down, and you just see the back of Yoda's head, and then it cuts, and that's the series, and then they canceled it.
Stupid.
It is, because the thing also with it is that you are then retconning everything Yoda says in the prequels and the original trilogy by saying that like he didn't know that there were Sith and
Yeah,
stuff
'cause
like that. So
technically, that like thought never entered his mind until Qui-Gon's funeral.
yeah,
Yeah.
So like,
so
that
like
makes sense.
you knew there were Sith because clearly you knew. There's this whole show that shows. So there were theories as to why he actually wouldn't have known and blah 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 of like, oh well, they wouldn't have told the Grand Master, blah blah blah, but like it's literally in the end of the episode, so he clearly knows. So
Now,
the
granted,
the Acolyte in general just shows what Star Wars can't do, and it's not
This
even
is
the
the
story.
But-
It's
so
this
it's
is the
the
base.
crust of the earth. It's the core of Earth.
the other thing though is did they actually confirm the one female villain and then the other guy, the assassin, to be Sith? Did
So the
they
one
ever
guy,
confirm them to be one of them to be
The-
the
Watch
apprentice
the one
of
guy,
Plagueis?
he did that stupid thing where they tried to retcon Kyber bleeding because like he changed the color of his saber mid-fight, and everyone was like, "What is this piece of crap?"
The guy, I forget. I didn't watch the whole thing.
See, here's the thing: if they were never confirmed to be like Plagueis' apprentice per se, they can make an argument in season 2 that these two weren't actually Sith. They were just people who used the dark side of the Force.
True.
Right? Technically
right.
speaking, Kylo Ren is not a Sith, and Rey is not a Jedi. They were never actually formally trained in the ways of the Jedi and the Sith. Now you
Right.
can make an argument for Rey that she was kind of trained by Luke, and then if I'm not mistaken, in the Last Jedi, the Jedi texts were burned, weren't they?
In the Last Jedi, the Jedi texts were burned.
Did Rey
Not
ever
all
get
of them.
the Jedi texts?
Ray has a few, and by
So,
a few
okay.
I mean like 4 books. It's
So
not
Rey
that.
Rey
because
can kind of
Ghost
rebuild
Yoda
the
burned
Jedi
them, but
Order.
then we saw them in the Falcon at the
The-
end of the movie.
Okay.
The
Well, so
only thing that's available
kind
is the
of rebuild the Jedi
holocrons,
Order.
and I don't even know if all the holocrons have that much.
but technically, I mean,
the
post
holocrons are more so like used for like because we saw it in Fallen Order. They're more so as like digital memos as opposed to like
Right?
flash drives.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like that's the best.
It is. You're right.
Storer of information was like what I was coming up with. So I was like, flash drive.
What
Yeah,
were you
like
saying,
that's
Mikey?
basically what the holocrons were.
But so I mean, they could make an argument for that for those characters.
could.
Hey, oh, these people weren't actually Sith; they were just people who were dabbling in the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
But yet they were amateurs, right? They weren't
Getting into
actually.
that, dabbling
getting
in
into
that,
the technicality
somewhere
that-
between Sith and Grey Jedi like aspect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I want a Grey Jedi project. We never get anything from them. I want like just this middle of the road guy who's just like he's
mean-
not a good dude, but like maybe he's got a couple people's good intention at heart. But like, I just want like that.
well, I mean, you have good people who were gray Jedi. They weren't Jedi. You know, they used kind of because the Jedi it was like an order. You know, it's not like, hey, not every good Force user was a Jedi, right? They had to learn the ways of the Jedi, and they just only used the light side of the Force. They swore against the dark side of the Force. Gray
Right.
are people who are not part of the Jedi Order. Although they're referred to as Grey Jedi for some reason, they're not part of the Jedi Order, and they will use parts of the dark side of the Force. Hence why they're called Grey, because they're merging the two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The
But like,
two.
I just want a project of a guy who's just like morally ambiguous. But like, maybe he's just like looking out for this one village, but like he's willing to just slaughter like other villages to keep them safe
Yeah.
or something. Like that's I just
Right.
want something like that.
I
It's just like
mean-
an independent story of that.
I wouldn't mind a Revan project, kind of bring back Darth Revan, because they made him Revan because they did make him
Revan.
canon again. And
Revan
Rise of
is
Skywalker.
teased to be a part of the James Mangold project.
oh, okay.
So they don't know if they want to do that.
You think they're gonna do that early?
No, but Keanu
I don't
Reeves.
think
When they call upon you, Keanu Reeves, please.
Yeah, right.
And then
Keanu would be kind of getting too old for the role.
You know what? I
of
can't wait for
John
them
He's gonna be
to
like
try and dip their
65 by the
toes
time
in,
they
and then
finish
they're gonna really mess up. Darth Nihilus.
They just shouldn't touch it. It just wouldn't make sense.
Bro ate a whole planet because he was hungry.
It just wouldn't make sense. Like Marvel.
No,
has
it
trouble
wouldn't.
doing
It wouldn't make
plans.
sense at all. But knowing Disney, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna
They'll do it,
royally screw it up.
But they'll do it in a 8-episode non-animated format. Like that's the best part. That's how they'll do it.
Or they're gonna touch Starkiller. They're gonna do that. It's
No,
one or the
They
other.
cannot. Those are my favorite.
No, they've
Instagram
already
reels.
confirmed
Those are-
Starkiller is not canon.
Yeah, those.
No,
are my
I know,
favorite
but they'll
Instagram
make him
reels
canon,
where
and they'll make him
it's
the
people-
most weak person ever,
Yeah.
and the fan base is going to slaughter.
Oh, you know that's not going to happen because Sam Witwer won't let it happen.
No, Sam
that-
Witwer
that-
won't let
will-
it happen. The
he
nerd
will
among us
lead-
all.
He will lead a riot on
Yeah,
Lucasfilm
he will.
Studio and have them like burn it to the ground if they ever do that.
I think the only way that will happen is when Dave Filoni and Sam Witwer both die. When both of them are not on this planet anymore, then
Yeah.
they'll do that, and we'll be
gonna-
like 70 or something.
Open up the airtight like dusty box and just be like, we can finally make it. They're gonna be
They're
blowing
gonna
dust off of the old Force Awaken games so they can like read up on the lore and
No,
stuff.
they are going to have Sam Witwer like executed. Like Disney's like
Yeah,
some. They're
front
just going
of
to put a
us
hit on him so that way they can do it. You know.
And anyway, to get back on track, the only other thing released last year was Bad Batch Season 3. I recently learned, like 20 minutes ago, that I've only seen Season 1 of Bad Batch, even though I thought I saw the first 2 seasons.
No, season 1 is just drastically long.
They're all
But-
drastically long.
So
Well-
so here's my
Yes and no.
Oh.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, go ahead. Go. I mean, mine's.
I was just gonna say that the first 2 episodes of Bad Batch are like an hour long because it is right after Order 66, and it is like basically what are the clones experiencing, and then the final 2 episodes I think are both hours as well because of the
being
destruction
so
of Camino. So
Bored at the end of Season 1. I was so bored.
I remember season 1 was very long. Season 2 and 3 have short. They don't have as many episodes, and not a lot of their episodes, but season 2 has a good amount of filler. Season 3 doesn't really have filler, but the episodes are somewhat boring.
That's what I've heard, is that it's just kind of dumb and pointless, and they didn't understand why it got 3 seasons. And then that's really it. They're for projects that have been canceled, so people can stop looking forward to them. Or at least it's been presumed canceled.
I was going to say, a lot of them are presumed canceled, but Star Wars never actually canceled anything.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of like random ones, but the main ones are Ryan Johnson's trilogy, not happening. Kevin Feige's movie is not happening, and Rangers of the New Republic is not happening. That being said, allegedly Rogue Squadron is still in some sort form of
Allegedly.
It's not on the release schedule. They
There's
took it
no
off
way.
about 3 years ago. They took it off the release schedule, but it's technically still in pre-production. Patty Jenkins is not attached to the project. I think they're waiting for someone else to just come along so they can give them
Oh.
the project.
I'm surprised they
I
didn't.
think they still want to make it. They just don't want to give it to Patty Jenkins after the Wonder Woman stuff. And so they're just like, can someone please come along and make this project so we can like either do a tax write-off or make the project, whatever it may be.
You know who I would love?
Mm.
Steven Stoneberg.
I would love him to make a Star Wars project. I do not want him to make Rangers. Or Rogue Squadron, I mean.
I feel like though that he can make Rangers like a good because
No, but,
Rangers
like, here's the thing.
isn't
He
Rangers
knows how
supposed to
do-
be excuse me, isn't Rogue Squadron supposed to be about getting the plans for the second Death Star? Or am I wrong?
Rogue Squadron is the like Star Wars Top Gun. Where it's just like training pilots. I
Then
thought.
yeah, no, not Soderbergh. But I would love for him to make a
Because that's the thing. Like,
imagine
Black
like a
Bag-
Canto Bite.
Well, because here's what I was
Thief.
going with. Like, Black Bag was really good, and then like the
Right.
ocean stuff that he does with like,
Yeah.
you get like some plot twists, you get that like crazy good dialogue. Give me like a Star Wars espionage movie where it's like Rogue One grounded level, just like pure on spy movie, but like in
Yeah.
Star Wars. Please, Steven, we would love that movie.
You know what would be cool if they did, because this would be the way that we would get what we want from Boba Fett. Have it be a Boba Fett like just a random mission that Boba Fett had to do during the original trilogy, and he's like on Naboo or something, and he's just got to like carry out this task to kill this guy or whatever, and then
Or even like
he
a
has.
Jango Fett one.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
so dope. It would be so dope.
Explore Jango Fett a bit more.
Yeah, Jango Fett would be cool. Tamara Morrison would be down for that. I know that.
Yeah. And then the only other thing that is in unknown status is the Lando Calrissian project, which they kept dabbling. I mean, we spoke about this earlier. I think Billy D. Williams is going to die of old age by the time they actually put this thing into production. Like, they're just not going to make it.
Yeah.
'Cause they kept teasing that they wanted to do both him and Donald Glover, and they were going to jump between past and present. And it was like, what are you toying
The
with?
hard part is that Donald Glover is very complicated to schedule.
We know.
Yes, the community
As
movie
community
is-
fans, we
As
know.
community fans,
the
you know.
community movie is finally going to start production in this fall because
Right.
everybody in that cast has been so hard to lock down, but he is one of the two people that's been just a problem to like stop making music and movies, stay in one place so we can film
Literally.
this movie.
Well, he did an album last year, I remember,
Yeah.
and he went on tour. I don't think like anyone really went to the tour, but
I
he
didn't know
made an album. So like everyone was like, "All right, fine, you made an album, go do a movie." So he did a movie, and then wasn't he in The Lion King?
that.
the Mufasa one?
He was in the
I
first
think.
one. I don't think he was in this one though.
He might not have been. Anyways, but I
If the community
remember
movie actually starts shooting this fall.
if the
like,
community movie
who knows
happens,
if this thing's
the
ever
Lando
happening.
thing could. I remember it was a while ago. It might be a year. But I remember
him expressing that he
reports.
still wanted to do it.
I remember reports saying that he wanted to do it and that they were taking a different approach where basically it was Billy D. Williams like telling stories of his past, and then it was
That's
like
what
a
I want.
flashback, and Donald Glover then took over.
I
So
want
like
them to do,
I'm down
like,
for that.
Like, give me Star Wars Princess Bride, where like it keeps it jumping back to Billy D. Williams, like telling kids these stories, and they're like, "Wait a
Yeah.
minute!" Like, then he's just like, "Well, hold on. What did your parents tell you?" Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I want like something like that. That'd be funny.
I think that would be cool.
And then that's really it. The only thing Star Wars has had going for them, which like, James, if you want to know, if you're so hung up on making video games to bridge your stories, take a page out of these guys' books. Star Wars has always had Marvel and DC beat when it comes to video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially as of late, because DC has been on a cold streak. I don't think they've had a good game since, Injustice 2?
Whoa,
I was
hold
gonna
up.
say Arkham.
Hold up. Okay, let's pause.
What came out first?
Gotham Knights
Injustice 2
is
or-
wrongly crapped on, okay?
It's not good.
Gotham Knights is a better version of the Avengers game, and I will stand by that.
I played through the entirety of the Avengers game and the DLC, and I played through the whole thing. Did not understand what I was doing with the gear mechanics. Did not understand what I was doing with the fighting gameplay, and I was bored the whole time. But I played.
The
all of it.
cosmetics are so annoying.
The cosmetics are the stupidest thing ever.
The only Marvel video game that I can outside of Lego Marvel that is good is the Spider-Man games.
Those are
Spider-Man,
good. Midnight
I know the
Suns
Marvel versus
performed
Capcom
poorly, but Mikey and I really enjoyed
Oh, yeah.
Midnight Suns.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
actually,
it
I really
performed
enjoyed-
poorly. We refused
I
to buy
actually
it until
really-
it was like $20.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually really enjoy Midnight Suns.
but,
I actually was
yeah.
just playing it like yesterday.
Not counting Spider-Man games, like they haven't made a good game in God knows how long.
No.
And
then you have their
like we
Wolverine.
said with DC, like you have that Wolverine game is not coming out for a hot minute. It seems
No.
like.
No.
And then like with DC, we said like Arkham Knight and Mikey's got his thing about Gotham Knights, but like Suicide Squad sucked, so it's like they haven't had anything since Injustice 2.
Kill the Justice
like that
League,
era.
Yeah.
Star Wars has always had them beat. Upcoming video games. We recently got an announcement for Zero Company, which is a turn-based game. Is it going to be something along the lines of a RPG? Is it going to be something along the lines of Midnight Suns, where it's a card game technically? We
No
don't
one
know.
really knows.
We want Battlefront 3.
I
Give us
want it.
Battlefront 3.
I want it so bad.
I will
I
pre-order
will
Battlefront 3
sell
immediately.
everything. I will give away everything I have just to get Battlefront 3.
I will donate Joey's kidney so we can get Battlefront 3. Like,
I want it
want
so
Battlefront 3 that bad.
commit heinous crimes. Mikey,
I'm
think
sorry,
you
I don't-
understand. Peak Battlefront 2 is some of the best video gaming ever.
Gosh,
like,
dude,
I don't-
Peak Battlefront 2 is one of the best
Peak
experiences
Heroes vs.
of my
Villains?
entire life.
I do not. I did not love those Battlefront games. I thought they were okay.
I can tell you right
That's
now,
fine.
this
Joey, you and I, we're on the right train. We know
me
what's going on.
in sophomore year, okay, get this. I go to school, I leave school, I immediately change my clothing
on my Xbox.
and go to my Xbox
Start
to
playing
play
Battlefront
Battlefront 2 until dinner. Go upstairs, eat dinner, help with dishes, leave, go back downstairs, play Battlefront 2 until I have to go to bed
Dude,
and
staying
do
up
it all
until,
again
like,
the next day.
Staying up until like 1 or 2 in the morning, playing a 4-hour Galactic Conquest match was
So-
the best thing.
It was
And,
so
like,
much fun.
You will end with a match KD of like 0.3, but you will never have had more fun in your life.
So, but here's the thing, though. I grew up with the 2004 and 2005 Battlefront games. So for me, they were kind of different, and I just still really, really like the 2004 2005 games.
Right.
Those are still my personal favorite ones. I mean, I prefer Battlegrounds over all of them, which was the the RTS game. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I was kindergarten or first grade playing Star Wars Battlefront. I remember being on the computer,
Bring
playing
back
Star Wars
the
Battlefront.
Star Wars Clash of Clans mobile game, whatever that was called. Bring that
Force
back.
Arena, dude. Oh,
Force
Bring
Arena.
back Force Arena.
dude, I go
Do not
back to
understand
that. Dude, Star Wars in
I wish
middle
they did
school,
not-
dude.
Dude,
Oh my god.
I wish they had not canceled that game. That was the most fun mobile game I've ever had in my
I will literally go on YouTube to watch people play that
Play.
game
So
just to get
good.
that nostalgia bait. Because
That's a good game.
It was such a random game.
I
was.
love
Like Star Wars Clash of Clans.
that
is
game, dude. That game was awesome.
It's the most weird out there concept for a mobile game ever, but it was so good.
But it was
and
awesome.
It was so simple. Like Galaxy of Heroes had its like little thing, and like that died out so fast. But like when it was hot, it was hot. Boy, that game, Force Arena was so much fun.
Dude,
it was so
I remember
simple.
so many
It was
people
not bogged
were
down
so
by, like,
mad at the game.
microtransactions.
They were so mad at the game because there were so many things in the game that weren't canon. Like Princess Leia's like Royal Guard. We never seen that ever. But
Nobody
who cares? No one
I just
cares.
wanted-
Like
I see your laser tower over there, and I am sending both General Grievous and Ahsoka Tano simultaneously to go blow that thing up.
dude, that game was
So
awesome.
much fun.
And I love that they were like they still made you do rule like you couldn't have Vader and Anakin on the same team. You were either on the dark side or you on the light side.
Yeah,
if you had Anakin, you had to have the only aid person that you could have was Ahsoka.
Yeah, you could do
That was
some, like,
that was so good on their part.
there was some bull crap. Like you could do some bull crap. You could get away with some stuff. Like I think you could mix like stormtroopers with like Count Dooku or something like that.
Yeah, you could
get
do
away
that.
with some stuff and just make
Yeah.
ridiculousness out of it. But like it was so fun because like I swear I remember like you could put Darth Vader in there and then just be like, all right, and then I'm going to have a droid spaceship fly in out of nowhere and
Yeah.
start bombing.
Yeah, no, you could
so
because the way those were like cards, almost like how
Yeah.
Clash of Clans was. You had your deck, but your actual hero you controlled, and then you had like your hero's aid, which I remember I ran the Grand Inquisitor a lot. So I had the fifth brother.
Yeah,
I
the
think it
fifth brother.
I
Yeah,
ran-
fifth
That's who
brother.
it was.
Yeah.
And it was like Anakin and Ahsoka, and then you would have your like
Right.
team.
I
Yeah.
think
Good
I
luck.
did Sabine and Chopper or Sabine and Ezra. I
It
think they
was,
were, like, or no, that's my Galaxy of Heroes team. I don't know who I ran on.
Who
the
was it?
lightsaber.
It was Ezra and Kanan, and then
didn't
it
run
was
that.
Hera and Chopper, and
I
it
don't
was
remember who my light side was. I think I had a blaster. That's all I remember. And then
I had the
ran-
40th anniversary Luke Skywalker that didn't come with a side person because then you could just stack out your.
I'm pulling up
dude,
Galaxy
that
of
game,
Heroes.
dude, that game was awesome.
I missed that.
Anyway,
missed that
yeah.
game.
So for other video games, Knights of the Old Republic is gonna come out at some point on PS5.
I'm looking forward to
when
that one.
happens.
Me too.
Star
Well,
Wars
so-
Eclipse is happening. If you
Yeah.
if you guys ever want to just go onto YouTube and watch the masterclass of what software editing and computer generated images could be, go look up the Star Wars
Star Wars
trailer.
Eclipse trailer.
This thing came out what 2-3 years ago.
I think
and
it was 2 or
like,
3.
It gave
I
no
was-
release date.
Was
and
it
it's
not
just-
like? No, it was like 5 years ago.
It's
No,
been
no.
for so long.
No, it came out when we were sophomores in high school, Brayden. That was
wait.
like 6 years ago. Because
I
Google
no,
it.
I
graduated
think
3 years ago.
I think you're right. It was like, I think it was 4 or 5 because I remember sitting in my study hall.
No,
And
3
they
years
announced-
ago.
I remember sitting in my study hall and they announced that it was going to be called Lucasfilm Games, and the first Star Wars thing that they announced was Eclipse, and
December
never heard
9th,
of it again.
2021, they dropped the trailer for Star Wars Eclipse.
Mm.
If you guys ever want to go see like
That's
just
so
a
far.
master class of like computer generated images, I mean, this thing was beautiful. Does not tell a single thing about anything. It's just random shots, like 2-second shots of like the Star Wars universe.
So-
from
And
every
there's
edge of
nothing.
the universe, and it makes no sense. And it's so funny, but like I remember watching this and being like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" And then it was like no release date, and it's like, "What the heck did I just
Yeah,
watch?"
according to Screen Rant, the release date will be between 2028 and 2030.
Yeah, we got this thing basically 2022, like the start of 2022, end of 2021. It's 6 years. It's so funny because like we know nothing
That's
about
hilarious.
it. It's so funny. They're just calling it Jedi 3. It's the next Calcastus game. We're getting
Yeah.
the third installment to the trilogy.
Yeah.
I have Fallen Order that I bought for like 50% off on my PlayStation, but it's like 150 gigabytes, so I haven't played
Oh,
it yet. It's just
Survivor.
sitting on my external. Oh yeah, Survival.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
Played
I'm,
part of
uh,
Survivor, and then I.
Fallen
I
Order
am not
is-
done. I think I'm like 15% completed of the game. I
have-
need to get back to it.
In my entire life, like my DS, my Xbox, my PlayStation, I have 100%ed 4 games. 3 of them are the Spider-Mans, and then one of them is Fallen Order. But like Fallen Order, it was good. But like
I thought you were
Survivor
gonna
does not-
say Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Lego
I
Star
never
Wars.
actually. That's on my Xbox,
that.
and my hands don't like the feel of an Xbox controller ever since I went to PS5. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to go back over school breaks and play that game because like I'm on my low quality television with my very
That's
very
hilarious.
old. My Xbox is so old, and so it's like running it on this really bad television, and it's so hard to play
That's
because I'm like trying to figure out how to get to bricks. But no,
Right.
I'm like 70%. Maybe one day I'll go and 100% it on the complete saga. But then the last thing is Amy Hennig, who is known for some stuff with like the Uncharted games, and then it's with Lucasfilm Games. She's making it, and then Skydance Media, which Mikey reminded me is Tom Cruise's company.
Well, Tom Cruise doesn't own the company, but he works
but
with
it's
the
like
company
his
a lot.
company basically. They're making a new Untitled Star Wars game. The fact that they got the Uncharted person and then they are getting like Skydance makes me think like I think it's going to be something along the mechanics of an open world Fallen Order-esque. I think it's
Right.
going to be because we just got this freaking piece of crap from Ubisoft. What was that called? The Bounty Hunter Rebel thing.
Oh, Star Wars like Outlaws or some crap.
Yeah, Outlaws.
Oh,
I think this game that she's making is going to be what we wanted Outlaws to be, where it's going to be like an open world, maybe bounty hunter-esque type
Right.
deal. Because remember, Ubisoft was supposed to make that open world Mandalorian game that never happened. That got canceled.
I'm still
Yeah.
angry about Star Wars 1313 being canceled.
13. It's been a long
But
time.
so here's my thing, right? For starters, I know it's been 23 years, but we need another Star Wars Battlegrounds game. There's a lot more factions we can
Battlefront
add. No, we need Star Wars Battlegrounds too. Besides from that, though, going back to what we talked about, Star Wars KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, I wonder how they're going to do it, right? Because the original game
They're
was
just
very much
remaking it,
like...
aren't they?
Well, we don't know because, right, they remade Final Fantasy VII. So Final Fantasy VII was like a turn-based, like, RPG. And then when they remade it into just a classic RPG where you just play as Cloud, right? I'm pretty sure that's the only thing you could do.
Yeah.
In the other one though, it was turn-based. You selected your attacks. Same thing with Star Wars KOTOR. It was turn-based. You had a team. You selected your attack, and then your guys would attack, and like you would have your queue.
Last I heard, it was just going to be a 1-to-1. They're just redoing the graphics. Last I
Okay,
heard.
see, but I don't know why that would take so long. So I don't know if they're going to do that,
Dude,
or if they're
that game
going
is
to.
old. You got to render the
rebuild
crap
it.
out of it because if they're going to include all those cutscenes that we love, they're going to have to re-render all of those. That takes a lot of computer power.
Well, no, those
Takes a
cutscenes,
while.
all those cutscenes is from the
It's not
MMO
Isaac.
game. No, it's just Star Wars Old
Yeah.
Republic. It's the MMO game,
Yeah.
like the
Well,
one
Plus,
with
you can watch those on YouTube. They're
or the
not
one with
that
Darth
bad now.
Malgus.
They're not that bad, but if they could, they would re-render them to PC,
forget.
PS5
True.
quality. But like the
True,
other
true,
thing is,
true.
I think they're delaying it because they want to put it on the PS5 Pro.
Mm.
Now that that's a thing, so they pushed back a little bit. Rendering like porting Red Dead 1 got ported to PlayStation last year, but they didn't update the graphics at all, and that
Right.
if you're updating all of the graphics, and then by updating the graphics, you have to make sure all of like new bugs don't appear. So you have to like continuously test the whole thing. I expected this one to take a while.
Hmm.
And then that's really
Wow.
it. Has anything else been announced? We're getting Andor next week. Season 3 of Star Wars Visions is coming out at some point in 2025. I stopped caring after season 1 because there were only like 3 good episodes.
Yeah, season 1. What?
Season 1 was
I don't
actually
know.
like decent. They had like 3. They did have like 3 really good episodes that I liked.
They
and then
did, and that was kind of it.
watched. I looked at the animation for each of the episodes of season 2. Instagram to see if they posted anything. They did officially post Ryan Gosling wearing the thing. I didn't realize it's Memorial Day weekend of 27 is when that movie's coming out. Starfighter.
But so
Which, I mean, classic Star. Don't they have like a thing with Memorial Day? Don't they usually try and put something out like every Memorial Day, whether it's a show or? Or am I just
Well,
talking out of my butt?
yes and no. May 25th, 1977 is when Star Wars came out. And so they try and pay tribute to it because of that, not necessarily because of Memorial Day. But Memorial Day is a nice boost.
Right.
yeah,
I mean, movies always try and coming out Memorial Day weekend. They
Oh,
always
yeah.
try to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like nothing else has really been announced. I think they're just like, all right, that's enough news for today. See you all tomorrow.
I was going to say, there might be another panel late, because it's in Japan, so there might be another panel at like 1 a.m. for us.
Yeah. I doubt
So
it's
we
gonna
might
be
wake
good,
up
though.
to some news, but I think
If anything, it's just gonna be like Ahsoka season 2. But oh no, that's Rosario Dawson Day. So that's what, Saturday. She'll do that.
is there anything supposed to come out this year that's Star Wars?
No.
I don't
Tales of
think
the
so.
Underworld, Andor season
Oh.
2, and Visions are the only 2025 projects.
oh well.
Then I hate to say it, but Star Wars Celebration, they normally do a trailer.
We're not getting a trailer this year.
I doubt we'll get a trailer. The only thing that I think would be a really good announcement, and I could see them doing, but I don't know if they will, is announcing a season 2 of Kenobi.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
They had. Have you seen the original plans for what season 1 was supposed to be?
No.
I don't want to like talk and just like say things that are wrong, but like after we finish recording, go look at what the original plans that like Ewan McGregor even talks about for what season 1 was
gosh.
supposed to be. 'Cause
If
they
I'm not
originally
mistaken,
planned a
like,
2-season
was-
show.
Leia wasn't supposed to be in it at all, wasn't it?
The
The
They were
original.
supposed to do 2 seasons. She was not supposed to be in the first season, I believe.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be like he was.
I
not
hated
on-
Kenobi. I'll be honest with you guys.
Mikey and I watched a good bit of it on our spring break trip, and we were like, "What is this?"
I just like it because of
Ewan,
Because
and
of
we got
Kenobi
him
and Vader.
Darth
Don't get me wrong, I like
That's all
I
I
like
care
Ewan
about.
McGregor. I like
If Vader was
Obi-Wan
on
and
screen,
Vader,
it
but
wasn't a good scene.
I absolutely hated the
Second.
show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. Kind of going back to what I was going to say earlier. Like, I didn't watch the Bad Batch because I did not like when they were brought in Clone Wars. I had no interest in
that
them.
was fun.
Like
That was fun.
that arc, I didn't care
I
for the
just
characters.
finished
I didn't
watching
care
that
for
arc.
them.
It's an awesome arc.
That's a great arc.
But to me, they kind of came out of nowhere. They just, especially the whole like, I think Echo is still alive, and it's like, what? Like, what the hell? Where the hell is this coming from, right?
It's a kid
And
show.
to me, I didn't care about the character. So when they announced they were gonna make a show for it, I was like, I don't really care. I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I still didn't care. I just went, okay, I really don't care about these characters. I just don't care.
To be fair, it's hard to get you to stick with any show
Not true
as
at
of
all.
the past 5 years.
That's not true at all. I've stuck through every single show that I've started.
Joe.
Name one.
I don't
I
know.
implore you to
Bad
name
Batch.
one. Well, it's because I didn't care for it. That's why I didn't finish it.
You did start something recently that I told you to start and you didn't finish it, but I can't remember what it was. You didn't
don't
finish
remember
Shogun. And that's a mini.
I never really started it either, so that's.
You told me you started it.
I watched the first episode with my dad, and we
yeah, but
first
you watched
started.
it in dub for some reason.
No. We started it in subbed, okay, and then my dad was tired of reading, so then he changed it to dubbed, and then he hated the dub, so then we changed it back
The
to
dub is
sub,
terrible.
and by then it was just kind of all colluded anyway. So I really got to go back and rewatch it all.
Anyway.
So I'm not counting it.
Yeah, there's nothing else for Star Wars. Like, they're always very lackluster when it comes to news. Like, even the Star Wars celebrations, we get nothing out of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We
At this
never get
point,
anything from them.
no. At this point, Star Wars is not dead, but it is not living.
They're never
It's
dead. They're
just
just
there.
always on the verge of killing themselves, it seems like. Like, they always seem like they're like, all right, if you don't release something by X date,
Right.
like, you're
Yeah.
done for, and then they just, like, push something out, and then it's like, oh,
Well-
we get to another round or another loop around the sun. Yeah. Like,
So
that's
I-
how it is for Star Wars.
I think the problem is though with Star Wars that they don't have anything. Then they release like a project that's really not great. Then they release a project that's really good and fans love it. So then they stick with it and they release a whole bunch of projects. It's like, oh wow, fans are really starting to like Star Wars again. They throw a whole bunch of garbage out, and that's what it is, just garbage.
Like, at least
Right.
the thing with Marvel
I mean, you
is
look
they
at
have
how
a
it kinda
much
was
more
with-
Marvel has a much more confined universe. They pump a lot more out, but like Marvel hits the medium a lot more than Star Wars does. Star Wars is highs and lows only.
Well,
yeah.
the thing also with Star Wars is, like Mike said, they push it all out, and then once something doesn't stick to the wall, then
You
they're
just
like,
get a
"Oh,
drought."
we're gonna stop for a year."
Yeah.
With Marvel, it's like we're gonna make it, and if it's not good, it's not good. If it's good, it's good. Like we're just gonna keep going.
But,
We
like,
can't
Marvel will-
stop because one thing is bad.
Marvel keeps
Like-
the train chugging along. Star Wars
Yeah.
will like rapid fire a couple things, and then they're like radio silence for a year and a half. No
Literally.
news is gonna come out, and then all of a sudden, bam, movie, bam, new season of Mandalorian, bam, and this just
Right.
Yeah.
So, quickly, Brayden, I don't know if you want to do this right now, but I figured we could give a quick review of Daredevil, Born Again. Season 1 is done.
oh. This is gonna look bad in the post because I was talking when you guys froze up on me. So I'm literally being all like, "Bam,
You
Star Wars,
froze
bam,"
up on
and then Joey's
us.
like, "I think we could review Star Wars Daredevil," and I'm just in the background, "Bam, Star Wars."
Bam, 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 bam.
What would you give it out of 10? Daredevil Born Again.
I'd probably
think,
go
for starters,
an 8.
The Daredevil Netflix show, fucking phenomenal.
Fire.
9.5 out of 10, all 3 seasons combined.
Yeah.
This season, Daredevil Born Again, completely different thing. I would give an 8 out of 10 as well.
I would give an
some
8.
filler. There's some filler.
Yep.
But like the filler is
But it's
still
good. It's good
entertaining.
filler. It's not bad
You
filler.
can get
It's good.
you get to the end of the episode and you were like, that's filler, but I was entertained.
Right.
The story they had going on at the beginning was really good. And then it shifted because they needed to do something. Okay, forget spoiler warning for everyone who hasn't seen the show yet. They needed to kill off White Tiger so they could set off that chain reaction, and they were like, got to get the ball rolling. I think they took a little long to do that, in my opinion. The first episode was so good, though. People were
Yeah.
dogging on that episode when it came out.
No.
Boy, that was a great episode.
I think you and I have a lot of similar agreeing factors in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you and I, especially for the finale, agree with a lot of things.
Yeah, the big thing
basically,
is, anyone who
leading up to
watched
the
it-
show, we liked it,
Yes.
and leading up to everything, we were really loving it. I honestly, probably before this finale, would say it was a 9 out of 10, but the finale put it a little bit lower for me.
I believe I
What'd
can
you say?
fly.
Sorry, I was gonna say I don't know if basically. Before the finale, I would have given it a 9 out of 10. But with the
Yeah.
finale, I give it an 8. It wasn't the finale was bad, and like you said before, it was a good final episode, bad finale.
Yeah, it was a good episode, but like I would expect some amount of content. Like I would have taken a 40-minute episode following this past one, like super
Right.
short, but I just needed something.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a lackluster ending, but like I think the setup is going to be really good. I've sent you, you don't open my reels for like you give me you talk about Star Wars droughts. Joey opening his Instagram DM that I sent.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice 3-day gaps in between everything.
I was gonna say I do. I'm not on my phone that much.
I've sent you a bunch of Daredevil season 2 stuff for Born Again.
Okay.
Everything that Born Again season 2 is promising looks so good. Like Matt's gonna have his Shadowlands Borderlands suit. They're like apparently gonna be on the run. Bullseye's gonna be back in his suit. It looks promising. I'm excited. I was hoping they would bring in Typhoid Mary, but that's because I thought the show was gonna end a little differently.
Right.
The season 1. So I don't know. I liked what we got. I'm excited because like I just like the characters that we got back. They set up the John Bernthal spinoff. That's gonna be good. The level
Yeah.
of violence in this last episode was absurd.
I forgot about that.
Mikey, this
Wow.
new episode, they just let Punisher go straight to his old TV show. Like Kingpin
Yeah.
crushes a guy's head like Omni-Man style. Like John Bernthal. There's a little too much slow-mo, like Zack Snyder slow-mo in that fight for my liking.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but like Punisher is just like ripping people's tendons out with his knife. He's
I forgot.
Like,
When
rounds
is
through
that
people's
Punisher
head right
thing
in front of
supposed to
them.
come out?
They haven't started writing it yet.
You know how I
Oh.
am about intense violence. I'm not a fan of intense violence in
Yeah.
TV shows.
Boy, was this. This was as rated M as they were gonna get. Boy,
Yeah.
was
Did-
this bloody.
Did
I
they
loved
swear
it.
a lot too? I'm not a big fan of swearing in movies either.
The use of the F word was quite proficient in this episode.
I
say
will.
slurs. I'm not a big fan of slurs in my TV
I
shows.
think that,
I
like-
don't like Tarantino films for that reason. Way too many slurs.
I was
Way
excited
too many
because
swearing,
This like basically
way
told
too
me
much
that
violence.
when they make the Punisher show, like they're just gonna make it as bloody as the Punisher show was. Like it's gonna be John Wick style, like close up executions. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna go all out for that.
You know, I'm like a reverse edge lord. You know, I don't like really edgy things.
Yeah.
I want
Overall-
everything PG and censored, like in
Overall,
Saturday Night. You know
good
that
show.
that chick that's
People
like
need to stop complaining, even though
Yeah.
like so if you complain about the filler episodes, I guess I understand because like the bank episode was good. Holy filler though.
Oh yeah, holy filler, but it was good.
But like they gave us a double release on that day, so I'm not complaining.
And it kind of it led a little bit into some of the other stuff, and it helped with
Yeah.
building the world, I guess, and building
don't-
everything else.
I wish we
So,
got a
I'm not
little
against
more-
it.
I wish we got a little bit more of Muse. I feel like he was a little underutilized, but like he was pretty graphic for any time he was on screen.
He
I
was
love that they
definitely
kept
underutilized.
the comic panel where the part where he kills those two girls and they come up and they're like, "Oh my God, are you Muse? Can we take a picture?" That's in the comics, but in the comics he like just takes a selfie with them and then they continue on. But like, so that's what I thought they're gonna do. And then in the show, it turns out he just like brutally murders them,
Nah,
and displays their
brutally
bodies. I was
murders
like, "Oh my God, this is not what I expected."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was so happy about that. Yeah,
But yeah,
I think some
overall,
people need
good.
to get off their high horses, but it was a pretty good show.
Oh yeah. All right. So, do we want to move into some connections?
first. I have a few things that I need to say first.
Oh my gosh. Here we
Okay.
go.
For starters, Steve Angeli entered the transfer portal today, so I'm heartbroken.
Rip to a goat. Rip
Yep.
to a goat.
Thank you.
Thank you for your Orange Bowl contribute.
Yeah, he
you
really
ever
should have
do
been
anything else for
starting
that
since
team?
like his. He really should have been starting for the past 3 years that he was on Notre Dame
Hey,
football
this
team.
is
but
like me cheering for David Blau and Tim Boyle on the Lions. Like they didn't do anything.
they had one good drive. That's what they'll be known for.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
good enough.
Apparently, a lot of people are
We love
thinking he might
Angeli.
land that,
He had
that
one terrific
Tennessee.
drive, and that's all you need.
He might land
Tennessee,
that
yeah.
Tennessee job, and if they do, I'll 100% get a Tennessee jersey to rep my boy Steve Angeli.
He may.
Well, anyway.
We'll ask Braylon if he can get us tickets.
He ain't starting.
There we go.
Tennessee.
Yeah, we do know. Anyway, though, the other thing that I want to say, because I have
He
two
knows
other
he's gonna
things.
Be the worst quarterback in the SEC.
Two things. One, I hate John Lennon and mangoes, and two, had to get in before the end where you can't cut it out. Two, at work, Coke started to bring the whole share of Coke with this person again, and at work, a few days ago. Actually,
We
last
just
week. It
bring
was
back
last
ridiculous
Wednesday.
names for that.
No, they're all
We should,
ridiculous
like,
now.
Share a Coke with
So-
well, that's what I'm saying. Can we just have like
I
share
found-
Coke with Bartholomew?
Share Coke with Brayden.
They have never put my name on a bottle. That is the first time in the history of them doing this they've ever put my name on a bottle. It's always
So
been
I got
Brayden.
it. And then I really searched, okay? And funny enough, I found some really weird names. Like
Oh,
names
gosh.
that I'll be honest with you, I can't even pronounce. It took me forever, and I could only find it in Diet.
Why did
Share
you
Coke
buy
with
this?
Joseph.
Hey, let's go. That's
I bought them
awesome.
to show you guys.
Thanks.
So, Joey, I will give you yours when you come back to work eventually. And that day that I give you yours, I shall drink Brayden's because Brayden's not a big fan of. Brayden does not like dark soda, so he won't drink it anyway.
I love it. I love it.
So I will
That's
keep them
awesome.
in my refrigerator. I was
I
not
will
able
be
to find Michael at
drinking
all.
my Sprite waiting
Really?
from the other side of the front end.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
here we are. Michael and Joseph are the two more common names of things. I mean, I
Right.
get Brayden's becoming more common, but
I am.
it took me forever to find Joseph.
Not you.
It took me forever to find Joseph, and I couldn't find Michael at all.
Well,
That's
they do-
crazy.
I have a feeling they'll probably do a more roll. No, Brayden has never been
found some
on a
weird
Coke
ones.
bottle before.
Have you gone to
I
Sheets?
found some really weird ones, huh?
We'll need to make a
I-
Sheets trip.
Oh, we will. We'll vlog an episode at Sheets. We'll
Alright.
take some videos.
They'll
and
probably
do
be
like
part
a
of the
semi vlog at
episode.
Sheets.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Connections.
do a whole bunch of random shit.
Yeah. Who
Connections.
is it again? I forget.
I'm giving
Brayden.
it to you two. Mikey's on a 2-game win streak.
Okay. Let me get pen and paper out real quick.
Brayden is actively trying to think of a second person because he only had one before this episode.
Buddy, not
Double it and
preparing.
give it to the next person.
Double it and give it to the next.
Okay. I'm changing it. I have two people.
Okay.
You have to connect without using superhero movies.
Oh boy.
Elizabeth Olsen to Jeremy Renner.
I hate you.
Now, there's a very, very, very short option. But I know neither of you have seen this movie. Door stuff.
Oh. Done.
Keep on a rocking.
Oof. I think you got me.
Keep on
I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
Joey, how many did you do it in? I was gonna say it can be done in one, but I thought I was the only one who'd seen this movie.
I have not seen it, but I have seen things of it.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's another John Bernthal movie.
I was thinking
And
of...
guess what happens in it?
Wait, I don't think we're thinking of the same thing, though. Wait, are we?
Guess
We
what
might be.
happens in this movie?
Wait.
John
no,
Bernthal
I think
dies.
Well, what's new?
I was gonna say it's another movie that he dies in.
He always dies alone. I was thinking of... I think I'm going to watch Night at the Museum tonight.
Yeah, you can't
Oh.
do that.
Huh?
I know the movie they're in together.
Okay. So then we'll have to play a second round, which I do have a second one prepared for.
Dude,
Okay.
I don't think you understand. It took me forever. I was going through a whole bunch of movies. At the time, I was like, okay, the only movie I know that Elizabeth Olsen is, for a fact, is the one Godzilla 2014. Yes, Wind River. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I'm sitting there and I'm trying
It's
to
a
work through
great movie.
Godzilla. I'm like, okay, maybe I said, okay, what movies is Jeremy Renner in? And then I'm like, okay, he's in
I was
Tag,
going to go
actually-
to
he's
the
in-
Palm...
eventually-
Do the old boy route because you have Samuel Jackson and Josh Brolin in that
Yeah.
movie with her.
I was
That's
going to
the
go
one to
Palm Clintoff, or however you say her last name.
Yeah.
I forget. She's in Old Boy, and then she's also in Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
And
then
so
Jeremy
I would...
Renner's in MI4.
Yeah, so I was just gonna like take that and go Tom Cruise, but then I found I remembered when.
I'm the only one who's seen this movie, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I've not seen it. I know of it, but I've not seen
It's
it.
a good movie. You both would like it.
I've seen like trailers for it and stuff and clips of it, but I've never seen the
good.
movie.
It's
All right,
I'm
round
a sucker
two.
for westerns. Okay.
Mikey and I are really good at doing this together.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I have no idea how long it's gonna take because this one was a backup. Because I assumed one of you would at least guess the same one.
Okay.
You have to do Robin Williams to Hugh Jackman. Movie I'm thinking of.
That is. I hate myself for that. I should.
Oh, they're in a movie together. I didn't think about this. Oh no, technically they're not, but it's a wait. Are they? When did he die? No, they're in a movie together.
I give up. You guys are.
Joey, do you have the one movie?
I think.
Do you want to know what's really funny about it, Joey? No. That's
Oh,
not the one
really?
I'm thinking of.
Oh well, they're in Happy Feet together.
Okay, I've never seen Happy Feet. It doesn't appeal to me. Wait, Happy Feet?
It's been
Happy
so
Feet-
long.
Stones don't appeal to people.
I legitimately do not remember
Happy
anything
Feet
about
I've
that
seen.
film.
I was thinking Surf's Up. Like, I saw Happy Feet, but, like, my brain said Surf's Up. Happy Feet I've seen once upon a time. Hugh Jackman's in that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not the movie I was thinking of.
Yeah. What are you thinking of?
Joey, what are you going to watch tonight?
Night at the Museum. They're not in Night at the Museum together. No, they're not. What does he play? What does Jackman play in that?
He plays himself in Night at the Museum 3.
Oh.
But well, I mean, I guess you could just connect it via Ben Stiller.
No, they're in a movie together.
Are-
He's in the third one.
I don't.
He plays himself?
Hugh Jackman plays himself because Lancelot crashes the Knights of the Round Table play.
Oh,
and
that's
Hugh Jackman,
right.
Like, fourth wall breaks himself.
Right.
Because it's him and,
Well.
who is it, like Drew Barrymore or someone else up there with him?
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I was thinking of.
See,
But I did try and get myself to go down voice acting at first because I thought of robots and I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
how
that's
do
what
I
I
get
was.
this to...
Yeah.
See, my thing is, my mind went to, okay, Hugh Jackman movies that aren't Wolverine or Deadpool films, and one of the
Is
few
it
that I
Steel?
could think
That's all
of
we got.
was because there's so many people in it. Movie 43,
I was actually
like
trying to go...
steaming hot
Yeah.
pile of garbage, but I couldn't
Yeah.
really connect.
I went Prestige, Real Steel, and Les Mis, and I couldn't figure out how to get any of those people to Robin Williams in a short amount of time.
Right.
Yeah,
And then when I googled it, I was like, oh wait, Robin Williams, Dodoy, Night at the Museum, and then I was like, wait, Hugh Jackman, also in Night at the Museum 3.
Yeah.
So,
Alrighty.
alright.
Cool.
I will bring us back. As it turns out, to no one's surprise, Mikey has not maintained his streak of winning.
screw you.
After a first-time tie, Mikey was defeated and simply gave up in the second round of Hugh Jackman and Robin Williams. So, Joey, you're back in the winner's seat. How does it
Let's go.
feel?
It feels good. Feels decent. We'll
coming
probably
for
lose
you.
it next week, but
I'm going to
It'll
roll
take
this
me
against
20
you,
minutes to
Brayden.
think of the connection, but I will come back for it.
Brayden, I'm going to take this against you. I'm going to pick two actors in a movie that I know only
Mikey.
Joey has seen. Yes.
Mikey, have you ever heard of noise gate before? Because when you deep throat the microphone, all you do is static it.
I am whispering.
I don't think he knows what noise gate is. That being said, thank you everybody for sticking around in this somewhat Star Wars
See, I can
celebration
hear Joey
episode.
just fine.
Goodbye and stay tuned.
I'm going to break this against you, Brayden.